AudioJungle.
The availability of gas and/or LNG for sale is the last stage in the gas chain, which usually begins with host government agreements, then exploration, discovery and production, on to processing, and then sale and purchase of the product. Each stage in this chain is governed by agreements with huge financial and logistic consequences, all of which are negotiated by teams chosen for their disciplines, behavioral strengths, and experience. In practice, such negotiations may stretch over months or even years, during which time participants may change and others brought in, often on short notice. Sometimes with little experience of participation in and the dynamics at play in big negotiations.
Maybe we needed a course where we could actually put people that are normally on the periphery of negotiations, finance people, HR, engineers, senior management, lawyers, who may well be called into a negotiation at fairly short notice, but who haven't experienced the dynamics of a negotiation, nor the preparation necessary for a successful negotiation. And so we created a course which aims to do just that.
The objective of the workshop is to teach people how to negotiate in gas and LNG negotiations, but we provide a lot of general advice on negotiation skills, and these skills can be used in many different industries and many different contexts. Our particular focus, however, on this course is teaching people to negotiate long-term gas contracts and high-value LNG contracts.
This is probably one of the few opportunities that people drawn from all over Asia get the opportunity to sit down and actually undertake a real negotiation in a safe environment where they can make mistakes, where they can learn without risking millions of dollars. And so that's the purpose of the course. The first day is Chalk and Talk, where we try and introduce people to the vehicle we're going to use for the negotiation, which is the sale and purchase agreement of gas and LNG. But the key thing is that following the first day, when people learn something about the necessary terms in a sale and purchase agreement, we then put those people into groups and they negotiate a simulated but based on real life experience project.
The other 2 days are taken up with a negotiation exercise called the Okando exercise. Okando is a fictional country which is just developing, it's well educated, it's in Africa, and some large gas reserves have been discovered there recently. And the negotiation is about monetizing or commercializing those gas and LNG reserves.
And they were put under pressure. The 3 days are high pressure. They have to absorb a huge amount of information, and then they have to negotiate this information. They have to use economics, which many of them are not used to doing. We interrupt the process with 50 introductions of events which could interfere in the negotiation. They have to accommodate those, and they have to accommodate them, they have to quantify them, and they have to build them into a heads of agreement which they're asked to complete at the end of the 3 days. And at the end of that 3 days, having completed the heads of agreement with quite strict economic and logistic criteria, they have to defend and explain the approaches they take.
My expectation when I registered to this course is actually to gain as much as knowledge as I can to practice it in a real negotiation world.
Well, when I first arrived for this course, I thought myself, well, it's a 3-day course, I'm going to sit down and going to listen to a lot of people talking, and just sit down and not do anything. Well, I'm proven wrong, it's very different.
We have attended a lot of these courses in last 3 or 4 years. So the initial thought was that this would be another, say, theoretic course with a lot of academic stuff thrown in and all that. But I was actually pleasantly surprised that this is more starts from the basics, and I really think that this makes more sense to be in the practical form, the way the negotiation happens across the teams and all that. It was a real pleasant surprise.
I think this is a great course because the first day we're given information, and the subsequent 2 days we are left to do a lot of work, but the work is the one which I find most enjoyable because first of all it's practical. It doesn't entail me sitting down and just listening to somebody, but it puts to use what I've heard from the first day and my knowledge, where I come from, into use, and that I found very, very useful.
The first day I was a bit overwhelmed because the information that I received was a lot and the time was like really short. So after the 3 days course, my objective has been achieved. The facilitator has also been very helpful in helping us to understand the briefs, the roles and the objective that we need to achieve from this training.
Yeah, the best part of this course is that it gives you a hands-on experience on how you intend to negotiate. The entire life cycle from just a discovery to actually negotiating gas contracts is really fun.
Well, I don't know how many meetings we have with the LNG buyers. Maybe it's 4 or 5 meetings, and as it gets towards the end more intense. So they've given us a hard time, and I think that's what we actually find in a real world. So, and I hope that I can take this back with me in a working environment when I get back to the office. So.
Given the diversity we have in teams, this really gives you a glimpse of the kind of people you might actually end up interacting in long term and whenever you go outside of the actual world to do it.
So the other members of the team has helped me also in improving the skills and playing my role in the team.
I think the main takeaway from the course was you just need to deal with what life gives to you. You can never expect things to go your way, and you just need to take and run along with it and keep your objectives in mind so you know what is the ultimate thing you need to achieve.
And I think if it enables them, when called into a negotiation as a surprise, if it teaches them, well, I'd better know something about the preparation, which is very important, and I'm not frightened of the dynamics because I've actually experienced it, we will have achieved our aim and made them a little bit more useful to their company when they get involved in negotiations.
Recognizing the need to minimize time out of the office, we've kept the duration of the course to 3 days by providing extensive preparatory material which is sent to participants before the course begins. This will include the roles which they have been allocated for their subsequent negotiations. In this way, we aim at participants on arrival hitting the ground running. We build on this by providing a comprehensive course manual which, in addition to covering the course material, contains extensive and up-to-date analysis of the latest developments, particularly in the LNG industry, as well as learning points with examples from the experience of the course leaders.